What's up, fam? Today we have an amazing video for you. I talked to a single Christian man, my guy Ethan, who came to our May one-to-one singles mixer, and he's going to share all about his experience. Fellas, if you're on the fence about coming to our next August mixer, this is a video you want to watch in full. He's going to share not only how this event saved him time, it also saved him money, and it was just an amazing event to meet beautiful women. So if you're serious about dating, and you're not sure, is this going to be awkward? Am I going to do well? He's going to walk you through how we set you up for success at our one-to-one singles mixer. And ladies, why not listen and be encouraged as well that there are some godly single Christian men out there. Check this out. All right, Ethan, thank you so much again for taking time to answer a few questions about our one-to-one singles mixer. So you actually showed up and came to our event, and I wanted to know, what were your thoughts on it? So my first specific question for you, I want to know, before the event, did you have any hesitations about coming? What was that process like before you actually bought a ticket?
Yeah, that's a good question. Um, it's funny. A friend of mine who is not single shared the event with me, and that was how I first found out about it. And it looked cool. And it wasn't until I went to the website and saw more of the details that I was really sold, because there was another event that a different church had put on where they weren't focused on the ratio of men to women, and they said, like, in the description, they're like, "Yo, we need more men. Like, guys, bring all your guy friends, this, that, and the third." And I was thinking about that, and like, you couldn't see the exact guest list, but you could see how many people signed up. It was like over 100 people. So I
Sheesh.
was like, if there's over 100 people and they're begging for guys, that's going to be a lopsided environment,
Yeah.
So to me, that's not that appealing, because if I'm there, I'm really only there to find one. You know what I'm saying? So being forced to then bounce around the room if there's like a 10-to-1 ratio of women, like that's a lot of work,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? So the fact that this event was focused on the 1-to-1 ratio was the most appealing thing to me, I would say. And the more I read about it, I was pretty much in. Not really any hesitation or anything like that. It sounded very good.
Yeah, no, that's great to hear. And that's really our heart, like you said, is having that one-to-one ratio, because I know what it's like. And so does Pauline, to be in a room where it's a lopsided ratio, which unfortunately right now is the case for a lot of people. For the guy, you feel like a piece of meat sometimes because there's so many eyeballs on you. You're like, yo, what is going on? And for the women, it can be discouraging because they're like, how am
Mm-hmm.
I supposed to find somebody when there's 30 other women trying to find the same one? So
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
definitely think that's valuable, and that's really why we try our best to make it a one-to-one ratio, so that you don't have those problems. So I want to know, once you got there, what was it like when you first walked in? Were you like, man, why did I buy it? Why did I buy this? Like, what am I doing here?
No, it was good, man. It was good. Uh, we got in. I remember we had that like open mingle time, which was cool. And so I came with two friends, so I wasn't by myself. So I was already somewhat comfortable,
Yeah,
I had some other people with me. But it was good to have the open mingle, because of course in the beginning the guys are talking to the guys, the women are talking to the women, because that's what's comfortable.
yeah, yeah,
But I really like the human bingo activity to start breaking things up, and that really help people get a lot more comfortable. Allowed you to get around the room, see who was there, get a little bit of engagement, and maybe pick out who you wanted to go back to later.
yeah, yeah. So, as you know, our event, we try to be very intentional with different games outside of human bingo to try to help get you all talking to people. What was your experience with that? Did you feel like it was helpful, or just your thoughts?
Yeah, yeah, it was definitely helpful. I like that the games were focused on, was it like personality, faith, and then I don't know what the third one was, but they both were. I mean, all three of them felt very well thought out. I liked the setup. I liked, I mean, the environment was good. The room size was good, not too big, not too small. You could see everybody at once, and have an idea of where to go and who to engage with. It's funny because it made you think a lot more about yourself as well. We were filling out the cards at first for like the this and that. You got to think about, okay, who am I and what am I actually looking for? and then you went out and talked to other people, and you try and see how you matched up. Um, I thought it was really good. It was very smart. It was a lot better than uh, a few events I've been to before from
Mm.
various other
Yeah, yeah.
places.
Now that's good to hear because obviously we don't want to throw no event that is terrible. So
Yeah.
I'm glad to hear that. So obviously everybody's listening to this and they're wondering, did you meet anybody? Like you came to the mixer. I don't know if you're comfortable sharing your experience on that, but if you are, let us know what kind of happened with that.
Yeah, sure. I did. I met somebody who was very interesting. And we had a good time at the event. But we ended up finding out later after the first date that we weren't compatible. So we didn't continue going forward. But I still really appreciated the environment and the space where I got to meet someone like her. And yeah, man, I mean, it's just a fascinating thing. You never know. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? You never know. It's so hard to figure out who's for you or who God has for you. And that divide of it's 100% your choice. We have that free will, but at the same time, you're like, God, what do you want me to do?
Yeah.
It's always funny trying to bridge that divide. It's just a learning experience. So I feel like I learned some things, gained some valuable experience.
Yeah. So first of all, hold up. Everybody's like, yo, he went on a date? Like, that is crazy because there's some people, unfortunately, that ain't been on a date in a long time. So
Yeah,
I just want to say shout out to you for actually making that happen. I'm assuming, are you the one that like set the date up or did they?
yeah. That's me.
Okay. No, that's amazing because if you don't mind me asking, like what had it been as far as a waiting time to ask or go on a date with somebody? Like, was it a while since you've been on a date? Was it a struggle to find somebody you thought was attractive and kind of
Mm,
godly, or what was that like
mm.
for the event?
Yeah. I've been on dates a couple times, like I'd probably say like a couple times each year. Um, I've never been uh pressed to like always be on the hunt. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I really try and be intentional about it and really try and make sure it's worth my time and worth the woman's time. Um, but I would say it is definitely difficult being a biblical Christian in today's world because a lot of what I've experienced is we have some good conversation, over the phone, over an app or whatever. And then we get together and we start talking about faith. And I realize, oh, we're not on the same page. That's what's happened the majority of the time, being like,
Yeah.
oh man, like you might claim it, but like it's not actually the number one thing in your life. Jesus is not actually the love of your life. And recognizing, yeah, this isn't going to work out long term. So I've experienced a lot of that.
No, that's unfortunately a lot of people have told us that same thing. Do you feel
Yeah.
like at our event we were able to help you a little bit realize that in certain people, or how did that work out at the mixer?
Yeah, I think it. I think it was definitely a better environment. I really like that you guys had the emails beforehand, which repeatedly gave us what to expect. That helped a lot, and knowing that everyone signed up for the event was aware that this was an intentional Christian dating event. Making that very clear beforehand went a big way. So it allowed like me and my guy, it allowed us to be more bold, knowing that everyone who's there should have read this.
Yeah, yeah. Should have, right?
Yeah.
Should have read the email. Please
Yeah.
read the email. No, that's great because I know one of the things we really wanted with this event was yes, a fun time, yes, a safe place, but also a very intentional place. And
Mm-hmm.
that's one of the reasons, one of the games we have focuses specifically on faith. And we have different levels, not in a judgmental way, but just for you to be able to gauge, is this person where I am or where I want to be in their faith journey? Because everybody's in
Mm-hmm.
different places and that's okay. But I don't want to be with somebody that's at a level that I'm not at because that's just a waste of
Yep.
our times.
Exactly.
I'm glad that you thought that was valuable for sure.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, last question for you. What would you say to the guy who's out there who's on the fence? They're like, look, I don't know if this is worth my money. I don't know if I should invest in this. I don't need to do this. I got it. I can just get a girl right now if I want. Like, what would you say to the guy out there in those situations?
Sure. I would say this cuts out a lot of the early stages. You know what I'm saying? Like especially like apps is like the main way people engage now, right? It's like just jumping into an environment where you can just like talk to people immediately cuts out the matching over the app, talking to them on the app, setting up a time on the app, getting there, this, that. You don't have to plan the event. For guys, you don't got to spend any money on the event. It cuts out a lot of those early stages, and I think makes it more focused. Because like first dates, uh, and I mean the event is not a date, right? But that first interaction can be very weird if you don't know what each other are going for.
Yeah.
If you have no idea, if you're not on the same page yet, it can be just a lot of it can end up being a waste of time potentially.
So you feel like
So
there's a difference between being able to get somebody's vibe in person versus just being on an app and talking?
Yeah, definitely. And I am not at all opposed to the apps. You know what I'm saying? Some people are. I'm not opposed to them at all. I know people who have met people and got married over them, but it is more work, I would
Yeah.
say. There's more that has to go into it. There's more stages to get to a point where you're actually meeting in person, actually on a date, understanding who the person is. Because you have to meet them in person at some point. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right, for sure. No, that makes a lot of sense. And I love what you said about the time wasted. Because I don't know about you, but I remember when I was dating and in that time of my life, I hated wasting time. I still hate wasting time now, but I hated spending money to go here and there and then things don't work out. So to be able to have something that can help me save my time definitely I think is valuable, that in and of itself. And then once you
Mm-hmm,
get there,
mm-hmm.
being able to meet all the beautiful women that are there that love God is obviously a whole nother value. So, bro, Ethan, I really appreciate this. Thank you so much for sharing. And if you are a man and you're looking to date and you truly love God, please let this be your sign that now is the time to get your tickets. Our next event is Friday, August 4th at 8 p.m. I'm telling you, it's going to be the best singles mixer, best dating mixer, whatever you want to call it, that you've ever been to. And we hope to see you there. All right, fam. I hope you enjoyed that video. Here's what I want you to know. Me and Pauline, our heart is to serve you. No matter what age range you are, no matter what gender you are, we want to help you find who God has for you. So even if at this next mixer you're not able to find a ticket or you're not able to come, trust us. We are trying to do our best to find ways to get to your city, to get to your state, and to fulfill an age range that fits your need. But we need your help. You can sign up at our wait list because here's the thing, the 1-to-1 ratio is extremely important to us because that ensures that you have a better experience. You are sick of going places where you're the only guy there and there's 30 women, or you're sick of being the woman who's there and there's only 2 guys. So we are trying to avoid that, and that's why it's so important. If you seriously want us to come to your area, fill out the interest form and share it with everybody you know. And if you're in the DMV area, August 4th, 8 p.m. Fellas, we want to see you there. Thanks for watching this video.
To get more Christian relationship advice, subscribe to our channel.
And make sure you check out our other videos as well.